get the chip, like the Neuralink. Because think about it, like there's gonna be people out here that are doing that. They're gonna be smarter than us. You know, they're gonna be able to break things down faster than us in order to keep up. If you know the majority of the population is getting this Neuralink or whatever it's gonna be, and we grew up in the era where we was chips, put chips in the babies and all that. We was against that. Would you do that? Would you do it? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Too. That's my answer as well. I don't know. When I first heard about it, I'm like, hell no. But then, with all the movies I watch and shit, everything that they're clearly putting in front of us, because they know we just gonna think it's a movie. Nah. Like, I really don't know.
Yo, they got the glasses now. They got the prompters in them. People, you can be debating with somebody and they killing you in face.
Well, the Neuralink thing is so interesting because it's like, for people that don't know, that's Elon Musk's company, and they already have paraplegics that can move now, and people moving chess pieces with their brain. So my thing is, like, even for languages, right? Like, imagine if you can download every single language in your brain. So you go to France and now you speak fluent French. That's helpful. Or you go to, Mexico and now you speak fluent Spanish, right? Like,
Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. All right, and real quick, all right, I want to respond, to the video done by the beloved brother out of GMS in Dallas, the brother Ariana Nasah, Salaki, if I'm not saying the name right, but channel GMS in Rome, Lines on Fire, subscribe, and be edified. Now, what I want to go into, is this clip, okay, from the Breakfast Club, and it's a few perspectives, I want to touch on, first and foremost, as brothers have been saying for years, okay, that these devils, are going to begin to use, these platforms, okay, to push the chip, you see, because what we have to understand, in order to, continue to have a platform to be monetized on YouTube, where you're going to have to promote, okay, this devil's agenda, okay, all this, just random people getting on and getting popular and being famous and getting money off the internet, well, that's going to come with the price of you having to afford this devil's agenda and participate in this devil's agenda, okay? And people, that was once, on the fence, okay, about this devil's technology, the chip, and particular other things, well, now, all right, as Esau, Edom is getting ready to make it, okay, impossible, okay, to survive, okay, in this kingdom without it. Okay, we're going to see the squeeze, and we're going to see people flip. Okay, especially these people that have a lot to lose. Okay, and the only thing that can prepare us, to overcome this time, okay, is being built up during this grace period. Matter of fact, it says that. Let's get that. Okay, and we'll touch on some more perspectives, but when you get this here in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, okay, it's Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come up all the world to try them that dwell on the earth. And we're in them times now. All right. This is the time of the hour of temptation. Okay. We're coming into that time when this chip is going to be made mandatory. Okay. The days to come where the hour of temptation is going to fully set in the earth, and this devil is going to have it to where if you don't have this C-hip, you can't participate in society, man. Okay, and it's going to be a time of trying. All right, so we're approaching, the hour of temptation. Let me correct that. We're approaching the hour of temptation. Okay, but those who have kept his word, and you read in The NLT says, because you have obeyed my command, all right, to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world, man. Okay, and if you belong to this world, if this grace period, this time allotted, where the Lord has raised up the prophets, okay, to teach and to warn, okay, and to give the instructions of righteousness, and if you, have ignored that, okay, and you've, been entangled in this world, you haven't been prepped, okay, to endure through these times, man. Okay, so a lot of people that we're going to see is going to fold, and a lot of people trust in this system, and they believe that Esau is going to upgrade them. Okay, the man, there's the problem of the earth. The man who poisoned the earth is telling you about healthcare and immortality. Okay, the man that's the source of violence is telling you about safety. Okay, and that goes from our people being in darkness, man. Okay, and I look at these things now, and I'm more thankful than ever to be in the light, which that's another perspective. All right, but these people, okay, when the time of trying come, the masses are going to fold, and the scriptures, tell us that, man. Let's get this in Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 30. Okay, in verse 1, it said, "Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." And see, the reason why people don't want to deal with the Lord, because they're in love with this sin culture. You see, coming into Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, it comes with discipline. It comes with restrictions. You can't do any and everything, man. And then when we serve the Lord, we find out that it's far better to do right than to do wrong. Okay, you see, there's a far, there's an inward peace that comes with righteousness that you can't get, from doing wickedness. Yeah, sin is pleasurable, but it's empty and it's dark. Okay, and it doesn't build anything. Sin doesn't build anything. Okay, but our people, they would rather deal with Esau Edom, because Esau Edom doesn't require to stop sinning, and he's has people under the impression that they can be rewarded, okay, for sin, and that there's no punishment for it. Okay, so our people trust in this way. All right, because they've been able to thrive, especially these celebrity niggas and these wicked niggas, and just even straight niggas, from your Jay-Z to straight niggas walking the earth, they've been able to thrive in, each in their own capacity in this sin culture, man. Okay, so whether it's being a billionaire, all right, or rather it's just you a straight nigga just getting all these, random women pregnant. You might be popular, in the neighborhood. Okay, you just shooting, killing, rob. You just a straight nigga walking around, or a billionaire nigga. Well, you're in love with the thing that they have in common, that they all in love with seeing culture, where there's no restrictions. Okay, that do as thou wilt. You see, so Jacob rather deal with Esau and anything that he has to offer than to deal with Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, man, which is far better. It says, "They walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt," man. Okay, and the shadow goes into, it can be a protection, and it's also the image of a thing. Okay, and people trust in the protection, and they love the image of this society, man. Okay, in their mind, the dollar is protection. So if the dollar go digital, well, that's people's protection. They're gonna go with it, just as the elect, are prophesied to follow Yahweh Shai whithersoever he goeth. Well, 2/3 are allotted to follow Esau wherever he goeth, man. Okay, so as he transitioning, his kingdom, 2/3 are going to transition with him. Okay, and you're going to see more and more of these platforms that, you thought was sincere and, was deep, and, they was against, this and that, and they was, they stood for something, they're gonna flip. Okay, if if you're an Israelite and you haven't been, okay, building a relationship, okay, with your power in this grace period, then you're gonna flip. And that's why we pray that we, stay in good standings with Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, man. We do the things daily. The Lord will to keep us in a good grace, okay, of our power, man, so we can be kept in these times. All right. And this the point, verse 3. It said, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay? And trusting in this man, you're going to be more confused than ever when the Lord, all right, really start dismantling this man's kingdom on another level, man. Okay? Because there's people that still just going to get to see him and still starve. Okay? Still going to be tormented with the judgment of the Lord. All right, because people looked at the juice as a savior, and they're for sure gonna look at the sea hip as a salvation, man. Okay, but when they still have to deal with the wrath of the Lord, the judgment of the Lord, man, they're gonna be confused as hell, man. All right, for trusting in Esau, man. You see, and here it is. This man is on trial, but he's promising you protection, man. Okay, this man, okay, is a target. Okay, a majority of the Lord's wrath that's coming to the earth, but he's promised you protection under his new system, man. Okay, and you people are going to be confused. All right, and prophecy, delves into that. Let's get that in 2nd Ezra 5:1, and this is in the GNT. It said, but these are the signs. The time will come when all people on earth will be in the grip of great confusion, man. And that is everyone outside the elect. Okay, because we're in the light. Which we're going to go into that. The way of truth will be hidden. As we know, they're gearing up to censor the internet more than ever, to restrict the internet more than ever. So we know that's coming. All right. So it's going to come a time when you're not going to have access, to truth, man. All you're going to have is this man's mandates and decrees and threats and promises of upgrade and betterment of humanity, and you see, it's all you're gonna have. Okay, and it says the way of truth shall be hidden, and no faith will be left in the land, man, except amongst the elect. That's why the Lord said, when he come, shall he find faith on earth, man, because it's gonna be heavy it's gonna be heavy enchantments. Okay, it's gonna be heavy civil unrest. Okay, and everything that people, believed in is gonna fail them, man. Okay, Esau gonna push people to complete desperation, man. Okay, and the masses are getting ready to bend the knee. Okay, so let's go here. And like I say, one of the things, just listening to Jake, because let's go here to the book of St. John, chapter 8, and verse 12. It said, then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Okay? So as we follow Yahushua, we have the light of life, man. We see past this man. We see past this man's system. You see, they're talking about, imagine being able to, download French and be able to speak French and Portuguese, whatever language he said. Well, there's not going to be a French or Portuguese. Okay? You see, they're in darkness, man. They're operating, and their decision making is in darkness, man. Okay? This world is finna end. And see, their mind is all about this world continuing on. You see, they're talking about taking the chip, the MOTB, okay, with the mindset of this place continuing on. No, this place is done. Ain't no continuation for this society, man. Okay, for this rulership. Okay? But see, they're in the dark. They're not in the light. And when you go into the light, okay, which is those that truly, sincerely follow Yahushua are operating in the light, man. Okay? You go into his word light. Okay? It goes into phos, okay, in the Greek. Okay? It said,
Strong's G 5457. Phos.
all right, false. Okay, now metaphorically, it says on definition B, it says of truth and its knowledge together with the spiritual purity associated with it. All right, it says the reason to mind, the power of understanding, especially moral and spiritual truth, man. And the Lord has endowed the hopeful elect with that, man, beginning with his men, that he endowed to teach. Each brother has their portion, of, faith, understanding. Okay, and collectively, hey, we have, 100% of the truth needed, all right, to endure these times, man. Okay, but there's this walking in the light, all right. It gives us a different way of reasoning. Like, see, there's no way we would even reason about, taking a sea hill. Lord will we endure. But the mindset that we in now, we can't even reason with that conversation of what they're saying because we're in the light. We know that, nah, this place finna end. Okay? This is just a phase. This is just one of the phases, all right, before this place ends, this man implementing this sea hill. Okay? So this light, all right, a truth of understanding, it heavily affects our reasoning, man. We couldn't even reason in that conversation that they just had, man. Okay? But they're all into it. So yeah, man, just wanted to get into that, seeing that video, that clip earlier, Eliashua Wamba did a News and Prophecy on. He played that clip, and I was just thinking like Jake, they really operate in darkness, man. Prepare to see these things, ramp up. Okay, this type of talking points, okay, become the norm. Niggas to rap about it, and all these different things, man. We're here, so Lord will, you brothers. All right, then, you sister edified. Till next time, I say shalom.